Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Time is the one resource we can never get back. We can lose money and earn it again. We can lose possessions and replace them. But once time is gone, it's gone for good. Every day, we all get the same 24 hours. But the difference between people who succeed and people who don't lies in how they use their time. The truth is, most of us waste far more time than we realize. We procrastinate, we scroll, we delay the important for the comfortable. We tell ourselves, I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into next year. Then one day, we wake up and realize we're still in the same place we were 5 years ago, frustrated, disappointed, and stuck. It's time to stop. Stop wasting time. Start making it count. Because your dreams don't care how tired you are. Your goals don't care how busy you are. Your future is being shaped by what you do right now, not later. So today, I challenge you to be intentional, cut out the distractions, focus on what matters, and use your time to build the life you want, not the one you settle for. Remember, time is life, and when you waste time, you're wasting your life. Make it count. 1. Time is non-renewable. Time is the most valuable resource we have, not money, not talent, not even energy. Unlike other resources, time cannot be replenished, earned back, or saved for later. Once a second ticks by, it's gone, forever. This makes time more precious than anything else we possess. Yet, ironically, it is the thing we tend to waste the most. Think about it. If someone were to steal your money, you'd be angry. You'd likely take steps to recover it or prevent it from happening again. But when hours of your day are lost to mindless scrolling, pointless arguments, or endless procrastination, many of us don't even blink. We accept it as normal, but the truth is, you're not just wasting minutes. You're wasting pieces of your life. Every moment you spend doing something that doesn't serve your goals, your health, your relationships, or your growth is a moment you can never get back. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up, because understanding the value of time changes how you treat it. When you really grasp that time is non-renewable, you start to question how you spend it. You start to become more selective about what and who you give your time to. You begin to realize that wasting time isn't just a bad habit, it's a decision to delay your potential, postpone your happiness, and avoid the uncomfortable work of becoming who you truly want to be. We all say we don't have enough time, but maybe the problem isn't that we don't have enough, it's that we don't value what we already have. Time is not guaranteed. No one knows how much of it they'll get. So every second is a gift, and we owe it to ourselves to use it wisely. If someone gave you $1 million but said you could never make another cent again, you'd spend it carefully. You'd plan, budget, and make intentional choices. Why don't we do the same with time? When you understand that time is non-renewable, you stop treating it like it's cheap. You stop giving it away carelessly, and you start living with urgency, purpose, and clarity, because you know that every day is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 2. Awareness is the first step. Most people don't waste time deliberately. They waste it unconsciously. That's the danger. We go through our days on autopilot, filling the hours with habits and routines that feel normal but are quietly draining our time and energy. The first and most powerful step toward reclaiming your time is becoming aware of where it's actually going. Ask yourself, how often do you check your phone without thinking? How much time do you spend scrolling through social media, watching random videos, or bouncing from one distraction to the next? Many people assume they're just taking a break. But those 5-minute breaks stack up fast, eating away hours over the course of a day, and days over the course of a month. Awareness means pulling back the curtain on your daily life. It means paying attention to what you're doing with your time, really paying attention. When you start tracking how you spend each hour, even roughly, you might be shocked at how much time slips through your fingers without you even noticing. Awareness also helps you identify patterns. Maybe you lose the most time in the mornings because you don't have a routine. Maybe your most productive hours are being wasted on low-priority tasks because you're not planning your day strategically. Once you see these patterns, you can change them. This is not about judgment, it's about clarity. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. If you're constantly feeling like there's never enough time, it's likely because you're unaware of how you're spending the time you do have. But the good news is, once you become conscious of your habits, you gain the power to reshape them. Awareness also creates intention. It makes you pause and think before saying yes to things that don't serve your priorities. It helps you recognize time, wasting triggers and distractions before they pull you in. And most importantly, it gives you back control over your life. You can't manage time effectively until you're fully aware of how you're currently using it. It's like trying to fix a leaking pipe in the dark. You'll never stop the problem if you can't first shine a light on it. That's why awareness isn't just the first step, it's the most important step. True awareness leads to conscious living, and conscious living is the key to stopping time waste for good. 3. Procrastination kills progress. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't strike with loud alarms or dramatic consequences, not right away. Instead, it creeps in quietly, disguised as harmless delays and excuses. I'll do it later. We tell ourselves, tomorrow will be better. But what we don't realize is that every time we procrastinate, we're not just putting off a task, we're putting off our potential. Procrastination feeds on fear and discomfort. We delay things not because we're lazy, but because we want to avoid something. Failure, imperfection, the effort it takes to focus, or the unknown outcomes of doing something new. Our brains seek comfort and safety, so when faced with a task that challenges us or makes us uncomfortable, we retreat into easier, more pleasurable distractions, like checking messages, watching videos, or doing low-effort busy work. But here's the truth: waiting doesn't make things easier, it makes them heavier. Tasks we avoid don't disappear. They pile up, they grow in our minds, building stress, anxiety, and a sense of being overwhelmed. The more we delay, the more intimidating the task becomes, and before we know it, we've wasted hours, or even days, avoiding something that could have taken 30 minutes if we just started. Procrastination is also deceptive. It tricks us into thinking we're being productive. We'll suddenly feel the urge to clean our room, organize files, or take care of small errands, all in the name of getting ready to be productive. But deep down, we know we're just stalling. Productive procrastination still leads to lost time and delayed progress. And the worst part, procrastination creates regret. The project's not finished, the goal's not pursued, the opportunities missed simply because we kept putting things off. Over time, this builds a life of what-ifs and if-onlys. Progress, on the other hand, doesn't require perfection. It just requires motion. Starting is often the hardest part, but once we begin, momentum kicks in. Even taking a small first step, writing the first sentence, making the first call, creating the first outline, can break the grip of procrastination and set us into motion. You don't need to see the entire path. You just need to take the next step. When we procrastinate, we rob ourselves of growth. We delay the satisfaction of progress, the pride of completion, and the joy of reaching milestones. Success isn't about who works the longest hours or who has the most talent. It's often about who has the discipline to start when it's uncomfortable and the persistence to keep going when it's hard. Procrastination may feel safe in the moment, but it's a trap. It doesn't protect us from failure. It prevents us from success. 4. Distractions are the enemy. We live in a world designed to steal our attention. Notifications buzz, messages ping, content scrolls endlessly, and algorithms are crafted to keep our eyes glued to screens. While technology has connected us more than ever before, it has also created an environment where distraction is constant, and focus has become a rare superpower. Distractions may seem small, just a quick glance at your phone, a quick reply to a message, or a quick peek at social media. But those quick moments add up. They interrupt your flow, fragment your thoughts, and significantly reduce your productivity. Studies show that it can take up to 25 minutes to refocus after a single interruption. Multiply that across your day, and it's easy to see how distractions are silently stealing hours from your life. But the cost of distraction isn't just time, it's also quality. When your attention is divided, your work suffers. You might complete a task, but it's rarely your best effort. You might have a conversation, but you're not fully present. You might read or learn something, but it doesn't truly sink in. Distractions rob us of depth, engagement, and clarity. They keep us on the surface, constantly jumping from one thing to the next without ever going deep enough to make meaningful progress. And it's not just external distractions we have to fight. It's the internal ones, too. The urge to check your phone, the random thoughts that pull you away, the anxiety that makes you open a new tab instead of staying with the task at hand. The modern mind is constantly overstimulated, and unless we take intentional steps to control our focus, we become slaves to our impulses. Every time you give in to a distraction, you're not just losing time. You're training your brain to expect interruption. You're weakening your ability to concentrate. And over time, this makes it harder and harder to focus on anything deeply or for any significant period of time. To reclaim your time, you must become ruthless with your attention. Turn off non-essential notifications. Create dedicated blocks of time for deep work without interruptions. Set boundaries with your digital devices and people around you. Make space in your day where your mind can work without being constantly pulled in different directions. Remember, your attention is your most valuable currency. Whatever gets your attention controls your time, and whatever controls your time controls your life. If you want to stop wasting time, you have to stop allowing distractions to dictate your day. Distractions are not harmless. They are the hidden thief that slowly robs you of your potential, your peace, and your progress. Learning to eliminate them is not a luxury, it's a necessity in a world full of noise. 5. Small wastes add up. When people think about wasting time, they often imagine hours lost, whole afternoons spent watching shows or weekends slipping away without purpose. But the most dangerous form of time wasting isn't the occasional long break. It's the small, frequent, seemingly harmless moments we lose throughout the day. 5 minutes checking your phone when you wake up. 10 minutes scrolling through social media between tasks. 15 minutes chatting aimlessly while avoiding something on your to-do list. Individually, these moments seem insignificant. They're easy to justify. It's just a few minutes, but time doesn't vanish in chunks. It leaks away in drips, and over time, those drips turn into a flood. Let's do the math. Wasting just 10 minutes a day doesn't sound like much, until you realize that's over 60 hours a year. That's more than a full work week, and that's only at 10 minutes. What if it's 30 or an hour? Suddenly, we're talking about hundreds of hours, time that could have been invested in learning a new skill, building a passion project, improving your health, or deepening relationships. This is why awareness and intention matter so much. Most of us don't even realize how much time is slipping through the cracks. We don't count the minutes we spend waiting, checking, refreshing, switching tabs, or overthinking. But those micro moments are where our time often disappears. They create a false sense of busyness without any real progress or value. Worse yet, these small time wasters often interrupt our flow. You might be working on something important, then take a quick break to check your phone. That short break costs more than just the few minutes you spend. It also costs the momentum you had built. Regaining focus takes time, and the quality of your work drops with every interruption. The danger here is subtlety. Because the waste is small, it doesn't trigger urgency. We think, I still have plenty of time, but all those plenty of time moments accumulate, and soon we find ourselves behind, overwhelmed, or unprepared. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much time we think we have, it keeps slipping away. The truth is, how you use the small moments often determines what you achieve in the big picture. Consistency beats intensity. 5 focused minutes a day spent on something meaningful adds up to far more than occasional bursts of productivity followed by long stretches of waste. So ask yourself, what small changes can I make to stop wasting those tiny slices of time? Can I turn waiting in line into reading time? Can I replace mindless scrolling with a moment of reflection or planning? Can I use a 10-minute break to stretch, breathe, or reset my focus instead of numbing out? When you start guarding the small pockets of your day, you begin to reclaim control over your time, and by extension, your life. 6. Success comes from daily discipline. Success isn't a lightning strike. It doesn't appear out of nowhere in one dramatic moment. It's built piece by piece, day by day, through consistent effort and unwavering discipline. The people you admire, the ones who seem to have achieved something extraordinary, didn't get there overnight. They got there by doing the small things repeatedly, even when they didn't feel like it. That's the real secret: discipline, not motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired, energized, ready to take on the world. Other days you're tired, distracted, or simply unmotivated. If you rely solely on motivation to guide your actions, your productivity and progress will be inconsistent at best. Discipline is what carries you through when motivation fades. Discipline is what gets you up early to work on your goals, even when you'd rather sleep. It's what pushes you to study, train, practice, or build, regardless of your mood. And here's the most powerful truth: daily discipline creates compounding results. Just like compound interest grows small investments into large returns over time, consistent effort multiplies your progress. Writing a page a day leads to a book. Reading 10 pages a day turns into a library of knowledge. Spending 30 minutes learning a skill each day can make you an expert in a few years. These are not dramatic, life-changing efforts in a single day. They're steady, intentional actions repeated over time. That's what makes discipline so powerful. It turns time into an ally. Every day becomes an opportunity to take a step forward. Every habit you build and stick to becomes a building block in the structure of your success. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. But here's where many people fall short. They wait for the right time. They believe they'll start when life gets easier, when they're less busy, or when they feel more prepared. But the truth is, there's never a perfect time. Life will always be full of distractions, obligations, and reasons to delay. The people who succeed are the ones who stop waiting and start doing, even in the midst of imperfection. Daily discipline also trains your mind. It builds resilience, focus, and self-respect. Every time you choose to show up and do the work, you send a message to yourself: I am capable, I am committed, I am in control. That mindset shift is just as valuable as the results that come from it. So whether your goals are big or small, the key to reaching them isn't in grand gestures or rare bursts of effort. It's in what you do every single day. When you commit to disciplined action, success stops being a question of if and becomes a matter of when. 7. You control your schedule. One of the most common and misleading phrases people use is, I don't have time. We say it reflexively without realizing what it actually means. But here's the hard truth. In most cases, it's not that we don't have time. It's that we're not making time. It's not a lack of time. It's a lack of prioritization. Every day, you get the same 24 hours as everyone else. Some people use those hours to build businesses, write books, get in shape, or deepen their relationships. Others spend them drifting, reacting, and procrastinating. The difference isn't in how much time they have, it's in how they choose to use it. Time is not something you find, it's something you make. You choose what gets your energy, your focus, and your commitment. You choose what to say yes to, and just as importantly, what to say no to. When you say, I don't have time to work out, you're actually saying, working out is not a priority for me right now. When you say, I don't have time to read, what you really mean is, reading is not something I'm prioritizing today. That shift in language can be uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly empowering. It reminds you that you are in control. The truth is, your schedule reflects your values, whether you like it or not. What you consistently make time for reveals what matters most to you. If your day is filled with low-value tasks, distractions, and obligations you didn't consciously choose, then it's time to reassess who's really in charge of your life, you or everything and everyone else. This doesn't mean you can control everything. Life has responsibilities, work, family, obligations, but even within those constraints, there is space. There are gaps in your day, moments between meetings, time before bed, time early in the morning, even just 15-minute blocks. These moments may seem small, but they add up when used intentionally, and you get to decide how to use them. The most successful people in the world don't magically have more time. What they do have is clarity. They know what matters to them, and they protect their time accordingly. They plan their days instead of letting their days plan them. They understand that time is a limited resource, and they treat it with the respect it deserves. Taking control of your schedule starts with asking better questions. What am I doing that I don't actually need to do? What am I saying yes to that I should be declining? Where am I letting convenience override commitment? What distractions or habits are consuming time I could reclaim? Once you recognize that you do have control, everything changes. You stop blaming time and start taking responsibility. You begin to live on purpose, not by accident. And slowly, your days begin to reflect the kind of life you actually want to live, not the one you're settling for.